Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube author and gear review channel. Today I would like to show you some flashlight science, and the topic is how to convert a flat top 18650 cell like this one into a button top cell like this one. This one is a protected cell and this one is unprotected, but here we're just talking about the top. So this is a flat top with no nipple, and this one is a button top, so you have a little nipple. Certain flashlights need a button top, others will work with just a flat top. Typically flashlights with 2 springs will work with a flat top, but certain flashlights like this one that I got yesterday, the soldering Q8, needs button top cells. I'll show you why. Because there is no spring on this contact surface that will take in high currents, so you need button top cells. Now these are converted flat top cells. I just added a blob of solder to the top, and that suffices to make contact with this surface. So this is not spring loaded. That's the problem. That's why you need those little nipples on top of the cells. Now there is an easy way to do that. You can convert a flat top cell to a button top cell by just adding a little neodymium magnet. But if you don't have those magnets, if you don't want to spend the money on those magnets, or if you want to have a safer, more reliable solution, then you should think about adding some solder blobs to the top of those flat top cells. Now I show you how to do that. I don't know how safe it really is. I've done that numerous times before and never had a problem. But if you don't feel that it is safe to solder on lithium ion cells, then you simply shouldn't do it. But I show you how I do it, and then you can draw your own conclusions from it. Again, lithium ion cells are basically little explosive devices, so they have to be handled with care. But you can work them with relatively high temperatures, because they also get very hot on top where the high current is. When the flashlight is on full power, they get very warm inside the flashlight. So when you actually solder on top of those cells, then they should not get that hot at all. Alrighty, before you can start soldering, you need to treat the surface of the cell and make sure any oxidation is removed. Turn on the soldering iron. So make sure any oxidation is removed. Make sure there's some good scratches in the surface. Makes it easier for the solder to cling to the flat top. Yeah, I'm just taking a knife for this. Should be fine. Worked fine with those other cells. So again, we want to add a considerable amount of heat over a short period of time to get this done and over with as quickly as possible, to not damage the 18650 cell. Of course, heat travels upward, so the whole cell will not and should not get warm. So let's see if the soldering iron is hot enough. Yeah, it feels hot. So what we want to do is we want to have a nice drop of solder on the tip of the soldering iron. So the drop should be almost dripping. And what we basically do is then we let it drip on top of the cell, and we hope that there is no oxidation. We hope that it binds nicely. And if it doesn't, then we just need to clean up and redo the whole process. So see a nice blob. Nice blob. Okay. There we go. See? So adding some solder. Yeah, there we go. Once you have the initial blob on the top of the cell, you just add some more solder. Now we have a nice button top cell. So this should be enough for most flashlights. and the top of the cell did not get warm. I mean, just a little bit. Definitely nothing that should worry you. You see here, look at the cell. Okay, camera has problems picking it up. So that's how it should look. That blob was binding very nicely to the flat top. That will not come off. That's way better than a magnet. It's definitely better for the current and voltage to have a blob of solder than just a magnet. And if you have a flashlight with like 4 cells in there and one of those magnets maybe goes missing and then one of those cells doesn't make contact, you can run into trouble because you should discharge all 4 cells at the same rate. And if one of those cells doesn't do that or doesn't discharge at all, then you get an imbalance. And that can, I don't know, that can cause accidents. Let me show you real fast. This is what I'm talking about. Like the soldering flashlight, you can take out, for example, 2 cells, or you can take out 3 cells, and the light will still work, right? Because it's just made that way, it's just wired that way. The cells do not depend on each other. Every cell is treated on its own, basically. But there still needs to be a balance between all 4 cells at a certain point. If one cell doesn't deliver at all, I don't think that's very good. And also you should basically bind those cells together. So you should always use the same cells in the same flashlight, or you should always use those 4 cells together. So they have the same history, they went through the same stress in terms of discharge, in terms of maybe temperature extremes and aging and charging cycles. So this is, I think, the best way to treat such cells, especially if they're unprotected high drain cells like these Panasonics. So this would be my take on converting a flat top cell into a button top cell. It is very easy. It's definitely a better solution than a magnet. And as some people say, it's even a better solution than buying a button top cell. Because they say usually button top cells use like cheap sheet metal or something like that. And that is not as good in terms of letting a current through than a blob of solder.